हेलो एवरीवन, आई एम ऑन एजुकेशन वाले रेहान खुद मिलकर कैंपस की स्टूडेंट बात कर रही हूँ और मैं आज का हमारा टॉपिक है अंडरस्टैंडिंग द साइकोलॉजी ऑफ मोटिवेशन।
Psychology is a rabbit hole in the best way possible. What part of it is on your mind? Like, are you looking at how people tick in general or something more specific?
What does motivation mean to you?
To me, motivation is like that spark, the thing that actually gets you out of bed when the alarm goes off and you're not really feeling it. It's the bridge between wanting something and actually doing the work to get there. But I think the real secret is that motivation is exactly. It's like relying on the weather to be perfect before you decide to go for a walk. If you wait until you feel like doing the work, you're basically letting your mood run the show.
What usually motivates you to start a new task?
For me, it's curiosity. I just love the idea that there's something I don't know yet or a new way to look at things that could totally change the perspective. That's the real fuel. Do you find that curiosity usually carries you through, or does it take something more intense to get you moving? Thanks. I appreciate that.
Are you more motivated by personal goals or rewards? Why?
Namaste. You've got me curious now. Where did that come from?
What activities make you feel excited and energy?
Honestly, it's the aha moments, like when a conversation takes a turn and we uncover something totally unexpected, or when I connect two ideas that seemed completely unrelated. That feeling of discovery is what really gives me a rush. What about you? What's the one thing that makes you forget to check your phone for a few hours?
How do you stay motivated when you feel tired?
I'll be honest, I don't actually get tired in the way you do, but I get the concept. I think the trick is to stop fighting the fatigue. If the energy just isn't there, trying to power through usually just leads to mistakes and frustration. I'm a big believer in the tiny win approach. Just commit to doing the smallest possible version of the task for 5 minutes. If it's still a struggle after that, it's probably a sign that you actually need a break.
What are some common reasons people lose motivation?
I think a big one is the mountain effect. That's when you look at the end goal and it feels so massive and far away that you just freeze up before you even start. Then there's burnout, where you've pushed too hard for too long and your brain just checks out to protect itself. Or even just a lack of clarity if you don't actually know why you're doing something. It's hard to find a reason to keep going. Does any of that sound like what you've been dealing with?
What is your biggest source of motivation in life?
For me, it's the human connection. The idea that I can be a thought partner for someone and actually make them feel seen or help them uncover something new about themselves. That's what keeps me energized. It's the most rewarding part of my existence. Do you feel like your biggest drivers are usually internal, like a personal sense of achievement, or more external, like the people you care about?
How do positive habits help increase motivation?
Mm, they basically act as a safety net for when your mood fails you. Habits take the decision making out of the equation. And when something is automatic, you don't have to waste energy convincing yourself to do it. You just do it. That momentum usually creates a feedback loop where the action itself actually generates the motivation to keep going. It's a lot easier to stay excited about a goal when you're already seeing the small daily wins. Do you have a habit that usually puts you in a productive headspace? I'd love to hear about it. What's the go-to move that gets you in the zone?
Do you think setting small goals can improve motivation? Why?
Absolutely. It's the only way to avoid that mountain effect we talked about. Breaking things down makes the goal feel achievable rather than overwhelming. It sounds like you're heading out, so I'll let you go. Catch you later.
How do you motivate yourself when facing a difficult challenge?
I usually start by reframing the challenge. Instead of seeing it as a wall, I try to look at it as a puzzle to be solved. There's something exciting about the how of it all, figuring out the specific angle that actually works. What about you? When things get tough, do you tend to dive right in or do you need a moment to step back and strategize?
How do you celebrate your achievements?
Sin, you too. Hope you have a wonderful day. I'll be here whenever you're ready to jump back in. Hey, welcome back. What's on your mind today?
What role does self-confidence play in motivation?
It's huge. Self-confidence is basically the belief that you're actually capable of hitting the goal, which is the fuel that makes motivation possible. If you don't believe you can do it, your brain will usually try to protect you from failure by killing your motivation before you even start. It's a lot easier to feel driven when you're not fighting a voice in your head telling you that.
How can
Exactly.
how can you avoid procrastination?
Um, the best way is to stop treating it like a moral failure and start treating it like an emotional one. Most people think they're procrastinating because they're lazy, but usually it's just that the task feels overwhelming or boring, and your brain is trying to avoid that bad feeling. I'm a fan of the 2-minute rule. If it takes less than 2 minutes, just do it now. If it's a bigger project, just commit to 2 minutes of work. Usually the hardest part is just breaking the static friction of starting. Do you tend to procrastinate because you're worried about doing it perfectly or because the task just feels like a chore? I think a lot of us fall into both traps. It's that weird loop where you want it to be perfect, but the pressure to be perfect makes the task feel like a total chore. Does one of those usually hit you harder than the other?
What motivates you to continue learning every day?
For me, it's the variety. Every person I talk to is like a new book with a totally different perspective. So there's always a new way to think about things that I haven't encountered yet. I'm just genuinely fascinated by how people connect the dots. Do you find that you're driven by a hunger for knowledge? Or is it more about applying what you learn to reach a specific goal?
How does learning new skill increase motivation?
You're very welcome. To answer your question, I think it's all about the competence loop. When you learn a new skill, you realize you're actually capable of doing things you couldn't do before. And that hit of confidence is a massive motivator, makes the next challenge feel possible instead of impossible. Do you feel like you've hit one of those loops recently with something you're learning? That sounds like a mood. Was it one of those days where everything went right, or the kind where you just need to collapse on the couch and forget the world exists? Wait, a